So basically, back in September, when I was in the shower, I noticed like a lump in my breast, and I was kind of concerned about it, but I was breastfeeding Kaylin and didn't think too much about it. And I got out of the shower and I went to bed and I said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he was immediately, concerned and said, "I think you should go right away to the doctor." And I decided at that time to wait a little bit of time because I thought for sure it's something to do with breastfeeding. So a couple weeks later, I just quietly made the appointment with my doctor and went to see my OB-GYN, and went there, and she said that she was pretty sure that it was something to do with breastfeeding, but she wanted me to go and get a mammogram. So it was my first experience going to get a mammogram, and what I remember most about getting that mammogram was walking in there and someone saying, "I don't even know why I'm here. They're going to remove both my breasts anyways." And then I realized probably the severity of what was happening. At that point in time, I didn't think I had breast cancer, but I remember thinking, there's a possibility that this could be breast cancer and that could be me. And I went from there. I had the mammogram and had an ultrasound, and really, again, everyone was putting me at ease. The mammogram technician said, "I don't really think it's anything." She said, "It doesn't look good. Your breasts look the same to me." The ultrasound technician was really quiet when she was doing it, and I didn't ask too many questions. So I went after that and went back to my OB-GYN, and the radiologist had indicated that they thought it was just based on what they saw, that it was either a lactatinoma or a fibroadenoma, and that it was benign, and that I should wait 6 months and then go back for testing after 6 months. Fortunately, my doctor said, "You should go and get, I want you to follow up," and she sent me to a breast care surgeon over at Royal Oak Beaumont. So I did that, and then she basically said, "Again, I think it's a fibroadenoma. You're too young. You're only 31 years old. This doesn't happen to people your age." And I didn't think too much about it, and she said, "But I do want you to get a biopsy and get it checked out. Your chances, as far as I see it, are the same now of having breast cancer as as anyone else. Like, you really don't have a chance of having breast cancer." It was pretty much what I was told, because it is so rare for someone my age. So I went from that, and then I had, about a week later, I had a biopsy, my first biopsy, and a couple days later, I got the call, like 2 days later actually, I got the call that it was, in fact, breast cancer. And that's obviously a shock to the system. I mean, the whole time I never thought there was even a possibility. I was kept being told over and over again, there's no possibility of it being breast cancer. So part of it was good that I was naive, because I didn't think this could even be a possibility. I did not think that there was any chance it was breast cancer. So I lived my life normally. I never freaked out. I only told a few people. So at least for a couple weeks of having breast cancer, I was naive to it. And I guess for a couple weeks I had as normal of a life as anyone else. I just went to my doctor's appointments, and once I was done with them, I never thought twice about it. I kind of just moved on from that. When I found out, I was at home, and I was home alone with my 2 girls. Ben was actually traveling, and I had gotten a phone call, and I remember it was 3:37 exactly, because I remember looking at the clock, and I was playing phone tag with a doctor, and I remember looking at the clock and being like, this is the minute that could change my life. And I still at that time thought it would be negative, but then when you hear it on the phone, I kind of just screamed, and I said, "I can't believe this is happening, and I can't believe that I have breast cancer. You told me I wouldn't have breast cancer." And I kept thinking she's going to change her mind. She's going to say, really, it was a mistake. And even now I feel like, do I really have breast cancer? Did I really have breast cancer this whole time? And I mean, obviously I did, and I do. I mean, here at chemo. But I think that it's still, to this day, it's surreal that this is something that I'm very much going through. When I found out I was diagnosed with cancer on that day, I kind of immediately made a decision that I wasn't going to let it affect who I am as a person. I wasn't going to let it take anything away from me. I think some people sit there and think, I'm gonna be upset about it or be discouraged, but I just took it as, this is my life, and I'm not letting cancer take it away from me. I'm not letting it take one moment. So even though I'm at chemo, obviously every single time I have a million friends at chemo with me. So it's me making strong relationships with my friends, strong relationships with my father-in-law, my mom, Ben. I mean, I'm basically growing my relationships with people even more. And I think for me, that's a big positive thing for me. I don't look at cancer as a negative thing. I think, I mean, I do think it's, you know, it's an awful disease and it's sad that people get it, and I wouldn't wish anyone to get cancer, but I've kind of just taken a different approach when I got it, and I just said I'm going to take every day and live life like I always did, and try to look at, and I guess actually for me it's enhanced my life. I mean, it's made things better. I appreciate what I have even more, and I knew all along I've been very blessed. I've had a great life. I've had everything I've ever wanted. I have now. I don't want for anything. I have an awesome husband. I have 2 beautiful kids. We both have great jobs. We have a home that we adore. And no, I haven't flown across the country and gone to Europe or anything like that. But really, for me, that's not the most important thing. It's really spending time with my kids and being with my family. And because of cancer, I've had actually more time to do that than I did before. I think for me, I realized right away, I honestly, until I got breast cancer, I didn't realize there wasn't a cure. I didn't realize, and there really wasn't a cure. I mean, I knew that there was races for the cure and things like that, but I really thought that chemo was kind of a cure and radiation was a cure. I didn't realize once you have breast cancer from the first day you get diagnosed until you die. I mean, I will always have breast cancer unless there's a cure. And even though the cancer can disappear, it's kind of, they more consider it kind of in, I guess, somewhat of a remission type thing where it can come back at any time. I'll never be completely cured of breast cancer. So for me, it's important to find the causes, ways to prevent reoccurrence, and to find, you know, definitely a definitive cure for breast cancer. And especially for all the women out there, I don't want other women to go through this. I mean, I'm 31. I have a lot of a life to live, and I'm hoping by the time that it would ever potentially have a chance to reoccur, that there's something that can prevent me from getting it again. And also, I have 2 little girls, Ava and Kaylin, and I don't want them to have to ever worry about it. At 20, they will have to start getting mammograms because I was diagnosed so young. And for me, I'm like, that's kind of terrifying because they have to go through all the testing every year and wonder every single year, are they going to be diagnosed with breast cancer? And I don't want to have to put them through that. So I would really wish that there would be, you know, a cure, some prevention, and then also I think to raise awareness to other women. I mean, for me, while I'm going out there and telling my friends and family to help donate, I'm also telling them to check your boobs, because seriously, it's important that people go out there and make sure that they're checking themselves, and no matter how young you are, because you can't get mammograms, insurance to cover mammograms until you're typically the age of 40 or above. But that doesn't mean that breast cancer only hits women 40 and above. So it's important that when you're, you know, the age of 18 on, that you're continually checking your breasts. It's a goal for me to walk it. It was a goal for me from January 1st. But for me to be at the finish line, almost to me, it's kind of like, then I can be like, you know, I'm through with cancer. I beat cancer. Because if I can go through all this stuff and walk 60 miles and the doctors can say I'm clear, that's kind of like the definitive time where I can be like, yes, I'm cured. And so for me, it's the finish line. I mean, for both being through with cancer and being done with it. And that's something that I really want to share with my friends and my family. That's important to me, for them to all to be there, because for me that's it. And I hope I'm completely done and never have to do it again. I'm 31 years old and I have breast cancer. I need a cure. We need a cure. If you're able to donate $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever you're able to donate to help support this great cause would be so much appreciated. And if you're unable to donate, I just ask for your prayers for myself and for all those other women that are out there battling this awful disease. Together, let's fight cancer. Please visit www.the3day.org and donate to Together Let's Fight Cancer today. Thanks.